Hello, welcome to Creative Station, a podcast about creators and for creators. Today's episode we have Martina and Hansi from Nerdforge. Welcome, guys.
Hello,
Hi.
thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh,
How are you guys? How is it going?
all good.
All good,
so
thank you.
much.
We just got home from a longer trip of filming,
Yeah.
and the weather's nice, and everything is pretty nice now.
Yeah. I feel, for the past 2-3 weeks, we've just been outside. I've been painting a lot, and it's been great.
Great. I have been watching your videos for a long time and you are doing an amazing job. Now, for those who don't know you, can you tell us who are Martina and Hansi?
Yeah, so, well, first of all, we are Martina and Hansi, a YouTube channel called Nerdforge. And on our channel, we make all sort of things. Primarily, it's fantasy inspired. So we create dioramas. Martina does a lot of art, like painting and stuff. And we have made books, and I like integrating like electronics and circuitry.
Yeah, we basically do everything, I
Yeah.
think, within the creative realm.
Yeah. And on a more personal level, I am Hansi, and I'm 29 years old, and I'm originally a computer scientist.
Yeah, I'm soon to be 27, and I'm actually educated to be a teacher in history and English, but I've always been, addicted to art or creating art.
And we're both from Norway, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you tell the story of Nerdforge? How it all started?
Yeah. How did it all start? That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it feels like forever. Well, we started in university when we met. It was really right after we met.
Yeah.
That
So
we
like
started.
6.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, I used to watch a lot of YouTube. So I've always been interested in making stuff. Did a little bit on the side on my own. So, but when we found each other, we just had this like, synergy of creativity, if you want to say. And we just thought one day like, okay, let's just film this project that I'm building for my grandma.
Yeah.
And then it started, and then Martina wanted to make something, and we just continued filming it.
Yeah, I thought it looked so fun when you were making your own project and you were filming it. I was like, well, maybe I can try that, but make something else, So I think it just spiraled out of hand from there.
Yeah. Oh. And suddenly, and the last few years we kind of find more like what kind of videos we wanted to make. And so it's become more like, this fantasy-inspired thing.
Yeah, I think it took a long time for us to get there. We've been experimenting a lot, but I think we're at a point where...
Yeah, and it always changes, so who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
Where does Nerdforge name come from?
So the Nerdforge name, that's interesting, because
Yeah.
originally our channel name was Natural Nerd.
Yeah, and that was like something we just came up with on a whim, I think. We were like sitting down to create our channel. We were like, okay, we want something with nerd in it, but it wasn't very well thought through.
No. So when we reached around 100K subscribers, we decided we had to change the name of the channel. But just recently, we had moved into our new workshop in the basement of my father's house. And we had asked our subscribers, like, what should we name the workshop? And the answer we got was, one of the answers was Nerdforge.
Yeah.
And then we're like, that sounds really good. Maybe we should just call our channel Nerdforge.
Yeah, we kind of, it just clicked when we saw that name. It was like, yes, that's what it should have been called from the beginning.
So that's where Nerdforge comes from.
Yeah.
One of our subscribers.
Yeah.
Currently you are creating content in English even though you live in Norway. Why not Norwegian but English?
Yeah. It's a good question.
Yeah.
I think, do you have, do you want to answer?
I think the main problem with doing it in Norwegian is because you limit the audience, the potential audience a lot. There's not that many people living in Norway, so...
That's one thing, definitely.
That's one thing.
But none of us consume Norwegian content.
Yeah.
So I think the main reason is that we just watch English creators or people that speak English, mostly American. And that makes it so it's more like we identify with these creators and we want to make similar things. So it was just a natural choice to talk English. I don't think we ever considered talking Norwegian.
No, it was it was never really an option for us to do that.
And it's definitely what you said. It's like, if we did a Norwegian kind of thing, it's you limit the audience size a lot. There's not that many people in Norway interested in creating stuff and making things.
And especially like the specific things we do with like the fantasy theme and painting and such.
It's very niche.
It's very niche, and it's fun to try to create a community surrounding that, and to do that, I think it's easier to speak English to reach more people.
A lot more people. Yeah.
I couldn't see any speech in the first videos. There was only video and music. How did you decide to switch to the format in which you talk in front of the camera?
Right. Well, we actually have always been talking on our videos, but we, as you say, we haven't been showing our face in the start. We just did a quick intro, like very stiff, like this. Hello, welcome to Natural Nerd. Today we're gonna make a camera rig, and then that was all.
Yeah.
And then we just had voiceover for the rest.
Yeah, I think it was a very natural switch for us because we had been doing voiceover for a long time, but more how-to type videos, more tutorial based. But at some point we wanted to try to create things that we really didn't know how to make. So it was more about the process of how we figured out how to make things. And that kind of required us to talk to the camera as well, to just explain the experiences as we go.
And also I think we realized that if we're gonna enter this kind of niche section of YouTube, we can't make how-to videos exactly because there's not going to be a lot of people that looks it up, at least in the beginning. I think now you could basically do it in our realm. There's a lot of people interested, but we didn't think there was, so we didn't want to make how-to videos. So instead we had to switch over to this more like journey or narrative-based creating videos where people basically follow the journey of making something.
Yeah.
There's no recipe, basically.
Yeah. We're not trying to really make tutorials anymore. It's more about entertainment and us trying to figure things out, I think.
What would you be doing right now if YouTube wasn't part of your life?
If YouTube wasn't part of our life?
Oh, that's a difficult question.
That's difficult question because it feels like YouTube is everything we think about these days.
That's true. I think for me, I would try to pursue painting even more. I luckily get to do a lot of painting on the channel as well, but I think I would focus even more on just the painting part.
But in reality, you'd actually be a teacher.
Yes, that's true.
Because you had to pay the bills as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd be probably continuing my job as a software engineer, which I was before we went YouTube full-time. So yeah, I think that's pretty certain.
Yeah, software engineer and teaching.
Yeah, and art on the side.
And art on the side.
Now you get to do it full-time.
Yeah.
What was your goal when you started a YouTube channel? To create content as a hobbyist or to become a YouTuber?
It was always as a hobby.
I think every person that uploads to YouTube, they kind of have this dream.
Yeah.
Like, what if it takes off and it becomes like a big thing? But I don't think we ever believed it would.
No. So that was just a far distant, maybe dream.
Yeah. So definitely was just a hobby.
Yeah.
But once you see kind of that people like what you do, which happened quite quickly.
Yeah, surprisingly.
We didn't get a lot of subscribers fast, but we saw some viewership on our initial videos. And once you kind of get that viewership, you kind of become more conscious of the numbers and then, more oriented maybe towards the algorithm and stuff. Yeah.
It becomes a motivation in itself, in a way, because the more people that watch your videos, the more you want to reach more people because, it's fun to share that.
And I think also that even though you do YouTube as a hobby, there's a lot of creators that do YouTube as a kind of, you say a hobby, but I think a lot of these people, as did we, feel like it's already a job. Even before you earn enough money to pay the bills with it, it still is a job because you have responsibility towards your audience. There are people on the other end of the world basically waiting for more content or waiting for you to upload or stuff like that. So it kind of already feels like a job, even though you do it for hobby reasons, basically.
Yeah, and even though you do it for fun, you still feel, you feel responsible for delivering.
Yep.
It's like, even if you don't upload that often, it's like, but I have to make more.
I have to upload.
Yeah.
How did your family react to your creating content for YouTube? Have their reactions changed over the years?
That's a good question.
I don't know. Like, in Norway, people don't say things to your face.
That's true.
So I don't really know what my friends thought, like behind when I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't think, but all the things I've heard has been supportive, and there's a couple of friends who has been really, really supportive,
Yeah.
always like rooting for us and like, yeah, go get that 10K subscribers next week. Come on, 100K next year.
Yeah.
From the beginning, and that's been really amazing.
Yeah. I think in the beginning it was hard to explain, especially to my family, why I spent so much time of my free time doing YouTube, because we basically spent all our free time outside our studies doing YouTube. So sometimes I would say to my family like, okay, I can't come to dinner this time because I want to make this project and it's so much fun. And they were like, okay.
Okay, but why?
But why? But I think they understand.
Now
like,
we can say, oh, we just had to work overtime because we're, this is taking more time than we expected.
Yeah. But
And
I think they've always been supportive anyway.
I think so as
Yeah.
well. So I don't think that much has changed, but
No.
maybe people take it a bit more seriously. I don't know. We do a lot of like stupid things. So I'm not sure how serious anyone takes it either way. It's just like, okay, they're in their studio making toys basically.
Yeah. But my all my family are super supportive of what we do.
Yes.
They're just grateful that we can do something we love doing so much as a
Yes.
job,
So that's awesome.
which has been amazing. Yeah.
What would you do if YouTube was shutting down?
If we were shutting down, what we would do, I don't know.
That's a hard question to answer because I can't see YouTube shutting down, really.
No.
At least not at this point in time.
If YouTube shut down, I think we just pivot to another platform. At this
Yeah.
point, there's a lot of other viable platforms. You can monetize Facebook now. You can monetize TikTok. And if everything got closed down, like all social media was banned, and no other video sharing platform was open, well, that's a different case.
Yeah.
Then we would have a hard time, I guess.
Yeah.
We'd have to find something else to do.
Yeah. Then it would probably be reverting back to what we were educated to be.
Probably. But at this point, I don't think everything relies on YouTube. But also, I don't see YouTube going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's the only place people go for long format content, at least in the Western world. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
And like, there's no competitors for that type of content at this point.
not really.
Not of any like size anyway.
So yeah, let's hope not.
Yeah.
Do you get any support for your channel? Of course, content is yours, but how about editing, script, recording, or else? Can you tell us about the process making a video?
Right. Well, that's a big question.
Yeah.
So for a very, very long time, it was only us.
Yeah.
And we really didn't want to relinquish that kind of control of our content. So Martina did most of the like in front of the camera work, the person in front of the camera, and I did the editing, filming, and supported behind the scenes, which was great. But I think 2 years ago we realized that we're kind of limiting ourselves a lot by not relinquishing control of the edit, like giving that over to someone else. So we have an editor now.
Yeah.
He just finished his studies as a visual effects artist. He's a really good, talented Norwegian guy, and we have great communication with him. So he edits our videos.
Yeah.
And
That's been amazing. Like, I think that's one of the best decisions we've done for the channel was to just stop and say, okay, we don't have to have that control, that fine control all the time. So let's just let someone else do the edits, and it's been absolutely incredible.
It's been incredible.
Yeah.
And we still love to edit, so we still do the last pass.
Yeah.
Like when we get the final result from our editor, we still go through it, both of us, and we spend an entire day just polishing it, changing the music a little bit, things like that, because it's still a lot of fun, and we still want that extra influence.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, other than that, we don't have anyone else working for us. We write our videos ourselves.
Yeah.
And we have an agency that handles basically brand deals.
Yeah.
Like manages brand deals, and they send us the scripts for that. But other than that, it's just us two here in this studio.
Yeah, it's just us two working. We have like an accountant and stuff.
But not
working
here.
on the projects is just us.
Yeah. And our editor is not here either, so he's remote.
I heard that you have recently moved to a new studio. How did you make that decision?
That was a difficult decision to
It
make.
was an easy and difficult decision at the same time. Because it's like, it was pretty easy to figure out that we needed one when the camera kept hitting the ceiling. For those who doesn't know, we used to be in my father's basement. And the ceiling was literally like this high, like just above our heads.
Yeah, even I could touch the ceiling.
Yeah.
And we kept knocking over lamps and all the things on the shelves, just everything was in the way. We didn't have enough space for anything.
We were super lucky to be able to use the basement in the first place.
Yeah.
But as a filming location, you kind of grow out of that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Especially when we're doing so many different things. We have a lot of tools and stuff. It takes space. So, but we moved to it's a barn, pretty close to where we lived. So it was just a perfect match because it's still close and not too expensive, but also we have the space that we need.
Yeah.
So that has been really great.
What was your favorite project you have done so far and why?
The favorite project? Yeah, what do you think?
We've done so many different things, so it's kind of hard to pick one. But I think at least one of my favorites is the armor that I did. I made a complete leather armor for myself, and I tried to make the leather look like metal. And yeah, it got this Game of Thrones vibe to it, and it was just such a fun project to work on because there were many different techniques.
I really liked that one as well. Personally, I think I liked the Infinity Mirror Book Nook the best because it used like the Pepper's Ghost effect to project fire, and you kind of saw infinitely into the bookshelf.
Yeah,
so,
that's a really awesome one.
I like the ones with technology in it.
Yeah, they always add the little extra oomph.
All videos have some kind of difficulty, but which one was the hardest to make and why?
Oh, the hardest video
the hardest
to make?
project to make?
Oh.
One of the hardest ones we have made was, there's two candidates, at least for me. It's the crystal daggers.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as well.
Because they use so many techniques, like epoxy resin casting.
Metal casting. Not least.
And electronics for sensing when you touch it.
And also wood carving.
Wood carving.
Yeah, there's so many very difficult techniques
polishing,
in one.
So a lot of things going on. The other one I thought about was the first fantasy diorama we made with the smoke coming out of the diorama, because that was a very technical, difficult thing to actually get into the diorama.
That's true.
So yeah.
I think I agree on those two.
Yeah.
Which video has boosted your channel the most? Why do you think it has?
The videos with the most views.
Yeah, or boosted the channel the most. I think there's two videos I can come up with, but we never had like a huge viral hit that just took our channel like to a whole new level. It's always been incremental.
Yeah.
But I think the first desktop fridge we made.
Yeah, we made this tiny fridge that it's gotten a lot of views, and it got a lot of views pretty quickly. At least back then.
So that really helped our channel back then.
Yeah.
I think the reason for that video is just it's an interesting project, like making your own fridge, and like there was already a lot of videos doing the same thing only out of cardboard. So maybe people wanted to see something more structurally sound than cardboard.
I think the second one that boosted our channel a lot was the first leather-bound tome.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes.
Where I bound this fancy book from scratch, basically with leather. That's also one that took off. I think those two would be the ones I would point out and say
that changed.
They changed something. Yeah.
If we asked you to name 3 channels that you like the most, what would they be and why?
Oh.
3 channels that we like the most. Okay, that's such a hard question to pick only 3 channels.
Yeah.
We watch a lot of YouTube.
I think one of my favorites is Simone Giertz.
Yeah, she's great.
She's great. She makes very weird things, and she's just a super funny, wholesome person.
For me, it's Chris Harbour. If you don't know him, he's a guy from England, moved to Wales, and he basically built his own house from natural resources around on his land, and has built like a water power system, solar power system. It's just self-sustained, really good guy, interesting to watch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Finally, what to say? The last one. I don't know. We have always watched PewDiePie together.
Yeah, that's true.
Ever since beginning.
Yeah.
So it's just entertainment, but So
it's been fun to follow. He's been fun to follow for so long, you know.
Probably a kind of unoriginal answer, but
for sure.
but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Do you have any interesting or funny moments that come to your mind during this YouTube adventure? If so, can you share with us?
Interesting or funny moments from the YouTube adventure? Interesting. There are so many, but it's hard to kind of like come up with one specific moment.
I guess the funniest moments is often when we film things outside our studio. Like when we've tried to film in the forest, or when for example, when I filmed the final shots for the armor, I had to go out in public with the armor on, you know?
And that's really strange to do here in Norway.
Yeah. All the weird looks I got just walking in public with the armor on. I think that's like one of the funnier things.
You went to the store and you actually bought candy with the armor on. And here in Norway, people are like, try not to look. She's doing something weird.
Don't look at her. Don't look directly at it. It's like looking at the sun.
And all the kids go like, oh, look at her. But the parents go like, shh, don't look at her.
Don't say anything.
So that's funny. Another funny moment was back at the start of COVID, we made this LED face mask that makes animations. But that was before mask restrictions came here in Norway.
Yeah.
So when we wore that mask in public, like everybody looked at us so weird, like they're using a face mask? What's going on? That's so strange.
That's weird.
And like literally half a year later, everyone is using a mask.
Yeah.
So that was kind of weird to see. Yeah, there's probably a ton of funny moments, but it's hard to come up on the spot.
Yeah.
There are currently 122 videos on your channel. You have to delete them all, but only one video will remain. Which video would it be and why?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one. That hurts.
One video. Oh no.
That hurts to
That
delete.
hurts.
It's probably I think it's probably has to be one of the more recent videos where we show more of ourselves. It's a very hard question to ask, but I think we'd go for something like, at least I would say something like the fantasy diorama we did for Outland.
Oh yeah.
Because it shows like a lot of elements from our kind of small world of making miniatures. So many things that happen, some things go wrong. And I think it's an entertaining video.
That's true. Yeah.
And it has so many elements in it.
That's a good candidate. That one, and I think maybe the post-apocalyptic one we did this year, the big one. We made a huge post-apocalyptic diorama, which also it's basically the same thing, showing different techniques, showing things that go wrong, all that stuff. Yeah.
And both of these are working on a deadline, so they're interesting videos in my opinion.
Agreed.
Do you have a video that had an impact beyond your expectation?
I think that's a funny question, because I feel like very often when I have expectations on how a video will like perform or how it will be received, I'm wrong. So sometimes I have this idea that this video will do great, and then it does the opposite, or this video is all right, but then people love it. It's very hard to tell.
Yeah,
I think.
But I think one of the videos that has gotten most positive impact, like outside just the numbers, is probably the one where you went out and you painted in the forest for 7 days alone. Then you got a lot of people like being inspired and wanting to paint themselves. And we got a lot of like DMs saying how much that video meant to them and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that was it had a lot of positive impact.
Yeah, and it's weird because that's also one of the videos that has impacted me the most as well. Just the feeling of being on that trip and filming that video was really special to me. So it's really sweet that it got so much positive attention back.
And for negative impact, it's a recent one, and we made the Harry Potter rebound books, and J.K. Rowling has been on Twitter saying probably stupid things, and we haven't been paying too much attention, but people on the internet always find something. So people really hated, at least a few people really hated that we did something with the Harry Potter books. But I mean, we're still gonna do Harry Potter things, even though the author has been saying things that we not necessarily agree with.
Yeah.
Now that you have 1.5 million subscribers, you are considered famous. Was there a moment when you realized that you have become an internet celebrity?
Yeah, that's an easy one. I think we are thinking of the same thing.
Yeah, probably.
So we are completely like isolated here in Norway. First of all, we have very few Norwegian subscribers, so we're very rarely recognized here in Norway.
Yeah.
Secondly, we are only inside like the four walls of our studio most of the time, so we don't really see that much people. But once a year there's this event in Birmingham called Maker Central, where makers meet up, and there's a lot of YouTube creators there as well. So yeah, when we went there a couple of months ago, it was in May, we couldn't make it like 100 meters inside the venue. And like for every meter there was people with pictures and wanted to talk to Martina.
Yeah, it was a really strange experience because in my head I didn't expect that at all.
No.
Like I guess logically I thought, okay, there probably will be some people wanting to say hi and that's gonna be fun. But I had no expectation that it would be that many people.
It was extreme, and we just talked the entire day with people, took pictures with people. I completely lost my voice. So
it was a fun experience though.
That was a reality check that the people that we see on the internet are actually real people.
Yeah, it's incredible. I don't think we don't experience that a lot in Norway. Like it's a person every now and then in a hobby store somewhere that recognizes us, but it happens very seldom.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was definitely a fun and weird experience.
Do you have any other projects besides YouTube? What is your next step and your plans for the future?
That's also a difficult question. You have a lot of difficult questions.
Yes.
YouTube is our main priority.
Yeah.
We want to make better content, more content, and just do bigger projects, things that we really just enjoy making.
Yeah.
We always have like projects on the side, especially personal projects. Martina paints a lot.
Yeah.
And I do some coding projects as well, but it always comes back to YouTube and new content, what kind of videos, and
That's our main priority always, and that's where most of our time goes. You know, to try to find the good ideas and try to make good videos will always be as our number one priority.
And also find the good ideas that also we want to do.
Yeah.
So things that if we can leave the studio, that's a bonus, like get out in the world a bit. So that's what we're trying to do basically.
Yeah.
What is your main motivation to make these videos?
I don't know, that's a very difficult question because now it's our job. So obviously it's kind of a routine because we have to make the videos to pay our bills.
Yeah.
But there's always like this urge to improve and find new good concepts.
Yeah.
And the motivation behind that, I think everyone wants to be good at their craft, basically. So that's that. And there's also, we get a lot of like feedback from our community. People who love watching our stuff get inspired and they show us all the stuff they have made. Kids showing like all the things they have done. And that's just a huge motivation, like seeing how our videos impact others.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest ones, for me at least. It's especially when there's parents contacting us saying that their kid has been inspired by something we've made and showing pictures of what they made. It's the most wholesome thing. I mean, and of course it's a motivation in itself to make something cool and improve on your craft.
That's definitely a thing. Like being able to just make something cool in itself, that's the job.
Yeah.
That's motivation.
Of course, yeah.
What would you suggest to people who want to create art and craft content like yours? How should they start?
Difficult question.
My primary recommendation is don't be too perfectionistic. Decide on something and maybe just set a time limit for that. Yeah. And make sure you just finish that so you can begin something else.
Yeah, I think deadlines are a good thing because a project, no matter the size of it, can stretch out to infinity, I think, if you don't set a deadline. So fail fast, I think, is a good way to think. So just start making videos. You know, if that's what you want to do, then just make videos quickly and you'll quickly figure out what works for you.
Don't spend too much time thinking about it. Just start doing it, and you basically learn the ropes on on the way there.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Don't be too focused. Everyone says this. Don't be too focused on equipment and stuff. And it's because it's true. It's not the equipment that makes a good video. So just start making, basically.
Yeah.
That was what we did.
Yeah.
After all.
Indeed.
It's a classic question, but what comes to your mind when you hear Turkey?
When we hear Turkey, we think about our neighbors because they're Turkish.
Yeah.
At least.
I think about good food.
Good food. That's a good one. It's a very popular vacation place here in Norway. So you always think about the people going to Turkey for vacationing.
Yeah.
I've been there once as well.
I've never been, actually.
I know one word. It's teşekkür ederim.
What does that mean?
I hope I said that right. I think it means thank you.
Oh, okay. I'd like to go, though.
Yep.
It looks like a nice, chill place to visit.
And the food, so good.
Oh, yeah.
We have been shopping in, there's Turkish. We always eat Turkish yogurt.
Yes, always.
We have it in our fridge.
Yeah, it's the best yogurt.
So that's basically it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And cats.
Yeah, and cats in Istanbul. We saw that cat movie from Istanbul.
Yeah, it was so wholesome.
Yeah.
Have you ever had the opportunity to meet any content creator from Turkey? Have you watched any Turkish content?
Turkish content creators? No, I don't think so.
I can't think of any on the top of my head, no.
Might be if there's any English-speaking content creators that we don't know.
Yeah, that might be.
But on the top of my head, no, I don't think we have been watching any Turkish content.
Not as far as I know.
No.
Unless they speak English, then it maybe.
But if you have any recommendations, please let us know.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. It was a great pleasure to have you.
Okay, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
It's been great.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Have a nice time.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Who should be our next guest? Write in the comments. Like this video and follow us on Spotify and Instagram. See you in the next episode and bye bye.